What if NHL locker rooms were more chaotic than the ice? Rubber snakes, shaving cream disasters, and pranks that leave players screaming with laughter. You're about to see the 20 funniest moments ever caught on camera. It was just another day in the Flyers locker room after practice, and players were grabbing their Gatorade bottles, trying to cool off. But the team's equipment manager had a surprise up his sleeve, a rubber snake hidden in the cooler. As the players reached in, the fake cobra popped out. Guys jumped back, spilling drinks everywhere. Some screamed, others doubled over clutching their stomachs, and a few rookies froze like statues.
Check it out, baby. Oh, no.
Staring at the snake like it was real. Even the veterans were wiping tears from their eyes, teasing anyone who fell for it. That moment didn't just get a few chuckles. It became part of Flyers folklore. Every time someone went for a drink, the story got retold, and teammates still bring up Snake Day whenever they want to get under someone's skin. After the chaos of rubber snakes, the entertainment wasn't done yet. Carey Price, known for his serious focus on the ice, decided it was his turn to pull a prank. This time outside the ring. Price teamed up for a fake fan interview with none other than Rob Riggle. But here's the twist. Carey wasn't himself. He dressed as Riggle's assistant, complete with glasses and a clipboard, pretending to set up the whole event. Fans had no idea, thinking it was all official. As the interview started, Carey guided Riggle while secretly adding ridiculous instructions that left the fans confused and cracking up. People leaned in, nervously giggled, and tried to follow along, totally fooled by the goalie's straight face. The video went viral overnight, and Price earned himself a new nickname from teammates, the Assistant. Sometimes the quietest guys pull off the best cons. Not all pranks happen on ice or in the locker room. Linus Ullmark got the shock of his life mid-flight. A flight attendant decided to have some fun, hiding in the overhead bin wearing a scary clown mask. As the plane settled and Ullmark reached up for his bag, the clown suddenly popped out. His reaction? Pure chaos. He screamed, flailed, and jumped back, almost knocking over his own luggage. Teammates couldn't stop howling, some filming the entire scene while Ullmark tried to regain composure. Even after the initial shock, Ullmark admitted it was one of the wildest pranks he'd ever experienced. The footage became Team Gold, and Clown Boy stuck as his road trip nickname for the rest of the season. Back to the cameras, where Luc Robitaille's teammate Sim thought he was doing a normal interview for Fox Sports. But little did he know, cameras were hiding everywhere, and he was about to get pucked. As Sim answered questions, the hidden camera captured every confused expression. The interviewer threw in ridiculous questions, made silly comments, and watched as Sim tried to stay serious. His face went from professional to bewildered to straight up lost. When the prank was revealed, Sim just shook his head and started cracking up. The producers loved his reaction so much they brought him back for another episode, this time as the one pulling pranks. Pranks weren't just for cameras. Sometimes they happened right in practice. James Neal got a classic April Fool's moment, following the French tradition of poisson d'avril. A paper fish was secretly taped to his back while he skated, and he had no idea. As Neal moved around the ice, teammates tried to contain their giggles, pointing at the fish without letting him notice. Eventually, he felt the stares and turned around, only to see the silly prank. The whole team lost it, and Neal couldn't help but join in. The fish stayed on his helmet for the rest of practice as a joke, and Fish became his French nickname whenever the team played in Montreal. Off the ice, Jonathan Toews became the target of a clever phone prank. Sharp decided to have some fun by changing Seabrook's contact into a prankster's name and started texting Toews under that false identity. Toews had no idea who was messaging him. Each text got more ridiculous, and his expressions were gold. He squinted at the phone, nervously chuckled, and tried to figure out who was behind it. The locker room quickly caught on and started snickering at every new text. When Toews finally realized he'd been fooled, he just shook his head with a smile. Sharp got him so good that Toews actually changed his number the next day, just to be safe. Sometimes pranks hit where players least expect them, like on game day. Lightning players got a surprise when the team revealed a new alternate jersey, but it wasn't a sleek design. It was a fake, ugly Christmas sweater-style jersey. Players pulled them out, staring in disbelief, roasting the ridiculous patterns, colors, and goofy logos. Teammates teased each other, pointing at how absurd everyone looked. Even the coaching staff couldn't keep a straight face, trying to explain the new design while barely holding back grin. The jerseys were so bad they actually became a fan favorite. The team ended up auctioning them off for charity, and they sold out in minutes. The pranks kept escalating, and this one took things to a whole new level. A teammate decided to tape everything. Skates, gloves, even the ceiling, just to mess with one unlucky player. When the victim arrived, he had no idea what was waiting. Every time he tried to grab his gear, it stuck, pulled, or wouldn't budge. He struggled struggled, cursed, and even started sweating, while teammates watched, trying not to lose it themselves. Some even helped secretly add more tape, making it take forever to get ready. The poor guy was almost late for practice, and the coach walked in just as he was ripping tape off his helmet. The coach took one look and just said, "Rookie problems." The entertainment continued with a setup at the locker room entrance. While a player was away, teammates stretched a sheet of clear plastic wrap across the doorway, almost invisible to the eye. When the unsuspecting victim walked in, he hit the wrap full force, stumbling back in total confusion. The room erupted as the player tried to figure out what had just happened, looking around while his teammates bent over laughing, tears in their eyes. The victim spent the next 10 minutes picking plastic wrap off his gear while everyone else kept recreating his confused face. It became the team's go-to impression for weeks. Locker rooms aren't always noisy because of players. Sometimes it's because of sneaky pranks. One of the most diabolical tricks involved hiding alarm clocks all around a teammate's locker. Teammates set multiple alarms to go off at different times, then waited for the chaos to begin. Just as the room settled down, one alarm buzzed loudly. The victim searched his bag, found nothing, and sat back down, only for another alarm to start a minute later. Each time he thought he had solved it, another clock went off from a new hiding spot. By the fourth alarm, he was practically tearing his locker apart while everyone else was rolling on the floor. He didn't find the last clock until 2 days later. Pranks on the ice can be just as entertaining as in the locker room. One classic trick involved coating a player's skate blades with dish soap. When he stepped onto the ice, he had no idea what was coming. The first push, and slip. He went sliding, arms flailing, trying to stay upright. Teammates couldn't stop howling, some clutching their stomachs while others cheered at the spectacular wipeout. Even the player eventually started laughing, shaking his head at how smoothly the prank worked. The trainer had to come out and clean his blades, and the guy spent the rest of practice getting chirped every time he took a stride. Soap Boy lasted all season. Some pranks just keep escalating, and this one was pure chaos. Voracek decided to get Ronaldo good by filling his skates with shaving cream. When Ronaldo tried to put his skates on, he got a messy surprise. Foam everywhere, sticking to his socks and feet. He jumped back, cursing and grinning at the same time, while Voracek couldn't stop smirking. But Ronaldo wasn't about to let it slide. He got his revenge in the most devious way possible, stuffing Bengay cream in Voracek's shorts. The moment Voracek realized what happened, he jumped, yelped, and started dancing around trying to brush it off. The war lasted 3 weeks, with pranks getting more elaborate each time. The coach finally had to call a ceasefire when they started showing up late because they were too busy checking their gear for booby traps. Pranks don't always stay inside. Sometimes they spill out. One elaborate setup involved a rookie who learned that lesson the hard way. The coach faked an injury just to grab everyone's attention, then secretly set up a little chaos outside. As the rookie approached, his car keys mysteriously dangled from a cinder block over a river. He tried grabbing them, but they wouldn't budge. Panic, confusion, and nervous energy all hit at once. The team watched from the sidelines, holding back chuckles while the rookie scrambled and jumped, trying to save his keys. When the prank was revealed, the rookie just stood there for a solid minute before bursting out in relieved laughter. He made everyone promise to never tell his mom about the near heart attack. Not all pranks happen in the locker room or on the ice. Guy Lapointe pulled off a legendary one in front of a crowd. Meeting Prime Minister Trudeau, he coated his hand with Vaseline just before the handshake. As everyone watched, Lapointe extended his hand with a perfectly serious look. The PM went in for the handshake, only to find his grip slipping all over the place. Cameras caught every moment, grins, confused faces, and quick attempts to regain balance. Lapointe couldn't hide his smirk, and everyone around quietly cracked up, knowing what had just happened. The PM was such a good sport about it that he invited Lapointe back for a proper handshake, which also got pranked. Not every prank needs fancy props. Sometimes all it takes is a little tape and a lighter. The classic hot foot prank made its way into NHL locker rooms and quickly became a favorite among the players. Here's how it worked. While a teammate wasn't looking, others would secretly wrap the toe of his skate with athletic tape. Just before he noticed, someone would light the edge, creating a small trail of smoke. The moment the victim looked down, panic and confusion set in as he scrambled, thinking his skate was on fire. Teammates would be dying laughing, some nearly falling over at the sight. The victim would spend 5 minutes frantically checking his gear while everyone else was gasping for air between laughs. Every team has its rookie traditions, and Jonathan Toews quickly learned the hard way. In his early career, teammates made him the target of multiple pranks. Nothing mean-spirited, just classic locker room initiation that left everyone in stitches. From hidden alarms to fake announcements, Toews never knew what to expect. One moment he'd reach for his gear, and suddenly a small trick would catch him completely off guard. His reactions, wide-eyed surprise, flailing arms, and nervous grins, kept the room buzzing every day. Toews adapted quickly, learning to laugh at himself and enjoy the chaos. Years later, he admitted those pranks taught him more about the team than any any serious conversation ever could. Pranks aren't always behind closed doors. Sometimes they happen live on TV. Nick Kyprios decided to catch Colby Armstrong off guard during a live interview. Armstrong thought he was giving a serious answer, but Kyprios had a trick up his sleeve. The moment hit, Armstrong froze, blinked, and then his reaction was pure gold. Shocked, embarrassed, and trying not to break character all at once. The live audience lost it, and even the camera crew struggled to keep straight faces. The clip went viral within hours, and Armstrong got roasted on social media for days. He took it like a champ and even used the clip as his Twitter banner for months. Locker room fun doesn't always stay inside. It can follow you home. Shane Corson found out the hard way when his teammates decided to leave an unforgettable message on his car hood. What looked like a normal car soon revealed a creative surprise. The prank was harmless, but perfectly timed to catch Corson off guard. He opened the car, saw the mark, and couldn't help but appreciate the creativity and boldness of his teammate. Corson left the mark on his car for weeks, partly because it was funny and partly because he was plotting his revenge. When it finally came, it was epic. Sometimes pranks hit when rookies least expect them. Bolio set up a classic that turned the team entrance into comedy gold. A rookie thought he was leading the team onto the ice for a big entrance. Confident and focused, he skated forward, only to realize he was completely alone while the rest of the team waited behind the tunnel, cameras rolling and catching every second. The mix of shock, embarrassment, and realization was perfect. His confused face as he looked back at the empty tunnel became a team meme, and they still use the clip in rookie orientation videos. Birthday pranks are always a locker room staple, and Eddie Lack got the ultimate surprise. His teammates pretended to take a group photo, getting him to stand in the perfect spot. Just as Lack smiled for the picture, a cold water bucket came crashing down over his head. The shock, the scream, and then the immediate laughter. It was pure locker room magic. Teammates doubled over while Lack wiped water from his eyes, joining in on the fun moments later. The best part? They actually did take a real photo right after, with Lack soaking wet and grinning. It became his favorite team picture ever. And that's a wrap on the 20 funniest NHL dressing room moments caught on camera. From snakes and coolers to surprise water dumps, these pranks show the lighter side of hockey players that fans rarely see. Which one made you laugh the most? Drop your favorite moment in the comments. We'd love to hear. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss more crazy NHL stories. Trust me, the next batch of locker room chaos is coming soon.